upscale condos, restaurants, theaters, parks, Michigan Avenue and Rush Street, the Oak Street Beach and Northwestern Memorial Hospital, all within walking distance. But the easternmost blocks that ended at Lakeshore Drive were badly lit, an open invitation to drug dealers, muggers, robbers, and carjackers operating in the gloom. The hour and the current weather conditions had swept most people off the streets. Winds off the still frigid waters of Lake Michigan fingered among the downtown buildings in search of pedestrians to harass. While the calendar said it was late May, thermometers said it was 42. The feels-like temperature was 38. Snow flurries swirled on the winds and melted as soon as they hit the ground. South of Chicago, spring was firmly entrenched, but in the city, winter refused to give up. Weldon and Cassell saw the two men at the same moment. They walked south from Mies van der Rohe Way toward Chestnut. They wore crossover trainers, dark pants, and gray hoodies with the hoods pulled close around their faces against the wind and snow. One spotted the police cruiser and pointed it out to his friend. Their pace quickened. They continued down Van der Rohe Way, across East Pearson Street behind Water Tower Place, and then into the Seneca Playground Park. They were headed for Chicago Avenue, where the Northwestern University Chicago campus sprawled over acres of land and offered a multitude of places to hide from the authorities.
"Pull over," Weldon told his partner. "Need to check out these two creeps."
"They're not hurting anyone," Cassell said.
"They're wearing hoodies,"
Weldon replied. "So what?" Cassell snapped.
"That ain't a crime. If I was out in this weather, I'd be wearing a hoodie too."
Weldon wouldn't let it alone, and Cassell finally relented.
"Call in and find out if there have been any complaints up here tonight about two guys in hoodies." "We can check them out ourselves," Weldon insisted. "Do what you're told, kid," Cassell snapped. "Now."
Dispatch reported there had been no trouble calls in the area all night. Weldon wouldn't be stopped.
"Pull over and ask if they need directions," he said.
Against his better judgment, Cassell did as Weldon demanded, pulsing the siren and telling Weldon they were getting too close to racial profiling for comfort.
"That's bullshit," the younger cop said. "You can't identify them by race when you can't see their faces."
Cassell didn't have a good answer, but he did have a bad feeling. When the two hooded men entered the park, Cassell ran out of pavement and couldn't follow. If they wanted to question the men, they would have to give chase on foot.
"Open the trunk," Weldon yelled. "Let me grab a shotgun." "No time," the senior man replied. "We'll lose them. Use your taser if you have to."
Cassell unholstered his own taser. Weldon pulled his Glock. Cassell found it a dangerous harbinger that his young partner always went for the most lethal weapon on his belt. They'd had words about this before. Now they closed the gap between them and the hooded men. Although the two hooded men had done nothing obviously illegal, their skittish behavior seemed to warrant the police interest. Still, Cassell didn't like it.
"Police!" Cassell yelled. "Stop! Get on the ground and put your hands behind your heads. Do it, now!"
Instead, both suspects turned and faced the officers. Under the street lamp, Cassell ID'd both as Caucasian. He breathed a shallow sigh of relief. One had something in his hand. Cassell couldn't identify what it was. Weldon would later say he thought it was a gun.
"Lay the weapon on the ground," Weldon ordered. "Do it now."
Weldon stopped and drew a bead on the man. Cassell continued until he was only a few feet from the suspects. Cassell recognized the item in the taller man's hand as a cell phone.
"Don't shoot, James," he yelled to his partner. "It's a phone."
As Cassell pointed his taser at the man with the phone, 3 shots blasted open the night. The man with the phone fell to the ground, hit by a bullet in his thigh.